back to Today's Car Garage, and today we're looking at something that's rather noisy. You probably hear it already. And that is a car that has been, well, on this channel a few times. It's my old car, the one I've had pretty much the longest, I think. First car I drove when I got my driver's license. And, well, first car I blew up the engine in, and then again, and again, and again, and again. It is this thing, the 77 Dodge Aspen wagon. As you can hear, there's not much of exhaust under here. There are headers that ends underneath there somewhere. And the car is, well, it's lost a lot of looks. It's not really all that good anymore. There's a rust hole in the floor down here, also over here. Headliner is out, gone away. And there's not a lot of things that work in this dash. Well, you can see the wipe wash button is gone, so we have that here. That's a washer, and that's a wiper. But I don't have wipers, so I'm not using them. That is a temp gauge, mechanical, straight to the engine. Thermal fan here. I just don't have a thermal switch on it. And the world's lightest power steering. Tell something's wrong here. Wrong radiator, not really that good of a connection, and nowhere to fill coolant. That's because, well, old radiator went bad, started leaking. I put in a smaller one, which was stupid of me, so I put in this thing instead, which is a lot thicker, a lot wider, and I hope it's gonna do its job. But for putting coolant in it, I've kind of done a bit of a strange way. I've had to take off one of the hoses to fill it up that way. So I'm thinking of putting in a Volvo overflow tank mounted somewhere here, and just mount it into that. Make sure it's the top part so it's going to air out. If you remember the Dart I worked on a while ago, I've had to rob all the pulleys off of this thing for that. So now I only have water pump and power steering being driven. The pulley's not there. Well, the pulley's there, but there is no belt because it doesn't line up. And it doesn't charge anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Massive scoop, functional, of course. And well, I can go around and shut this thing off. Yeah. The reason I put this thing here, oh, it's already crept up to about 50 degrees Celsius. Well, the reason I put this thing here is this. The ground here is awful. All clay, and when the snow melts, you get massive holes that swallow cars. Like last year, the Granada sunk down to the rockers up on that crest over there at speed. So this year I figured I'll park the Aspen here. That'll block cars from driving down here, making this worse. This can just stay the way it is until it dries up. And in the meantime, I'm gonna have to park here. But seems that's not good enough because the XL7 just sunk into here. So might gonna have to park that further back again and get some gravel and just lay on here and over there. Now the future of the Aspen. I really don't know what the future of the Aspen is going to be. I've used it a lot. I've driven it, well, a couple of years. And since I last drove it, I've had another couple of cars too. At this point, I don't remember what's the first one I had after this thing. I'm thinking it was a Blazer. Because, yeah, last time I drove this thing was February 2 years ago. So yeah, it was February the year I bought that, actually, when I think about it. It's gonna be that. So, February last drove this thing. May I bought this thing. Then October I got this fixed. December I got it on the road. Then an entire year went around with me just driving this thing, and it's just sitting here. So I don't think I'm gonna put it back into regular use just yet, because well, it's gonna need an exhaust. I do have one, but it still drinks a lot of fuel. Yeah, no, that's what V8s are supposed to do, but this is overkill. It's just way too much. So I'm thinking I might just make it work again, do something about the floor, get the exhaust in, because if you remember, I damaged this hand. Actually, what was that? Yeah, this is June 2 years ago, after I bought the Granada. Cutoff wheel on an angle grinder just broke and sliced up my wrist there. So I'm going in for another surgery on this hand in about a month, and then I'm not going to be able to drive for 2 months anyway. So I'm thinking I might put on the exhaust that I was cutting off when this happened, because I have that. So I'm thinking of putting that on here, making it quiet down a little bit, and then fix the floor. Might have to go through and look at some other things. I know that the camber or something is completely wrong on this front wheel, because this is the wheel where I was driving around over a speed bump, gave it a little bit of gas so the front picked up a little bit. Then when I let off, this corner of the car just sank down a lot further than it should be. So pulled it into a parking spot and went out and looked at it, and the top ball joint had broken off, and wheel laid inwards and control arm on top of the wheel again. So, well, replaced the entire control arm, which of course has camber and caster control built into it. So I just eyeballed it, and I completely failed because this thing falls like a, yeah, doesn't really want to stay one way, does it? Factory limited slip diff doesn't work anymore. It made some bad noises once, and hasn't really been limited slip since. Transmission in this thing is a Chrysler 904 transmission with a shift kit and a full manual valve body, so you'll have to shift it yourself. You can probably tell there's a bit of mismatched panels here. The doors, the roof, doors, and well, the rest of the car is itself, apart from the doors, fenders, hood, and the grille. First thing we replaced on this thing in that regard was the grille. We made a custom one out of the grille of a 7/8 Plymouth Volare, and removed the stock square turn signal parking lenses there, turn them into 5-inch, well, 5 1/4 or 5 3/4, well, regular small circular headlights that we put in there with high beam and low beam in it. So it's all of these are regular lights apart from those, which are parking and indicators. And then it came to the fiberglass front fenders this thing had. this on this side started getting real bad, so the door would keep catching it right here and making it even worse. So I figured I would replace the front fenders and the doors, because I had a blue sedan once that I ended up just pouring out and scrapping. I'm real sorry about the wind noise coming in here. I just can't block it off anywhere. Yeah, I got the front doors off of that blue sedan, well as the hood is off of that car. The scoop is made out of a Mercedes W124 hood that had been painted pink, not purple. And of course, same on this side, fender and door off of two different cars. Working lights up front, not at the back, because the holes are still in these fenders, but the fiberglass fenders, we fiberglass those over, as well as the holes here. Actually, whenever put on a thick coated paint on this is actually just black primer. It's not paint. So you can see here exactly where that marking light's supposed to go. See the hole here, square here for that, and another hole over there. And also this thing had all along the center here moldings, trim moldings. This door, we just removed it instead of doing anything about it, so you can still see the holes in the spot welded studs that are supposed to hold it. Those are still in the doors. I mean, I've never really done much for this car to look good. Even well, I did it once, and after that it just kind of fell apart like it does. So that is going to be that for the quick walk around tour of the 77 Dodge Aspen. It's been a long time since I posted a video on this channel last, I know. The Volvo, there is coming a new video about the Volvo up. Even that's started being filmed before I filmed this. And it is in edit, so that is coming up, as well as that video, well, this video. And I don't know if there is anything I'm going to do to the Granada now. I have done a few small things, like fix the windscreen washer and rebend and reattach one of those wheel arch moldings. So I don't know if there's going to be much after that on this thing. This is still pretty much just get in and drive and nothing more about it. But if there's anything anyone wants to see about this thing, I will get on that. But for my own sake, I don't know what should be filmed about this thing. So if there's anything you want to see, either the Granada, Aspen, Escort over there, or anything else you've seen here, then let me know down in the comments below. You can like and subscribe down there too, and I look forward to seeing you later. Thanks for watching.